And welcome back, and we're continuing our conversation of this Ray Rice case, and it brings obviously the broader issue that I know two of you guys in particular are very invested in terms of domestic violence, and Jimmy's much better half, by the way, is on the board along with Don of a fantastic group, Hope Store. But Doug, if it's true that the NFL, in fact, 3 months ago received the video from inside that elevator, and many of us all believe it was CYA when they decided to just suspend indefinitely Ray Rice. Does Ray Rice have a case against the NFL? Can he say, wait a second, I know nobody's on my side here, and justifiably so. What he did was horrific, and he deserves whatever punishment comes down. But he didn't re-offend since he was suspended. The video came to light, and if they even saw the video, can he have an argument to say, wait a minute, you guys knew everything. I didn't lie. Let's assume he didn't lie when he had that closed-door meeting. Does he have any recourse against the league here to say, you know, you guys are making a stand when you had all the facts. You don't get to punish me twice for the same crime, in effect.
I think he absolutely would. I think that they're changing the deal. If they had a deal with him that he would sit out 2 games and this is all the evidence they had, and they're changing the deal, I certainly do think he would have a cause of action. But you know, I got to say something. Nobody would condone what happened here. But you know, you have this NFL who just had civil lawsuits where they paid out hundreds of millions of dollars, where the allegation was that they got information that people were getting sick and hurt for their entire life, and they settled those lawsuits, and the NFL goes on with their business, making money, games. Here's a guy, the allegation is this is a single incident. There's no allegation that this is a course of conduct. And they took that guy and they stripped him of the way he makes a living while his wife is asking that he gets reinstated. You know, this is really hypocrisy. And if anybody's listening, I'm not condoning this behavior, but you got to look at the way the NFL conducts their business and the way they're making other people conduct their business.
Well, let me ask you about if it was somebody a different line of work, okay? Do you guys, if the same thing happened, do you guys still get to practice law? Does a police officer still get to keep his badge? Does a person who's working in sanitation still get to drive the truck? If the courts gave him a diversion program, does he still get to, Dan, have the same ability to make a living that Ray Rice, in effect, can't do now because there's one NFL? I'm sure he can maybe find another league or something if they'll take him, but my point is, you know where I'm going with this.
Right, and there's 2 things. One is the employer, whether they want that person to be part of the organization, and then patrons of the business. If you found out the local restaurant owner was on tape like this, you probably wouldn't go to that restaurant. If you found out one of the producers of your show was on tape like this, you might not want that person to work here anymore. And that's part of our responsibility as private citizens to not patronize people who do things like this, and in many cases not hire someone or keep someone hired after they do something like this.
What about organizations like the ABA, and I'm not picking on terms, I'm saying other groups. Would they summarily root this guy out of their ranks? Would he not be allowed to practice law, medicine, law enforcement? I'm picking just...
We have with law enforcement routinely people who shoot and kill people, and they continue to work as law enforcement officers.
But not when they're found to have wrongdoing.
Right.
Well, in the interim, certainly, and at this point, they haven't been found to be wrongdoing. There's no hearing here right now. We're looking at a video, and the other thing is that.
But he did accept a plea. He didn't debate the charges, Mayo, and he accepted a diversionary program for probation.
But it's not a guilty plea. This is something different. And the other thing is that we all suffer from hypocrisy here because. What difference does the second video make? How in the world did they think she got knocked out? Obviously, he threw punches and he abused her. So the fact that you actually see one punch being thrown changes nothing for me. To me, if you believe he should be banned from the NFL, he should have been banned based on the first video. You don't need the second video.
But it's not just the punch, it's the lack of remorse after, where he just drags her out, steps away, the elevator's closing on her body.
But even if he had remorse, you would still think he should go to jail. So none of that, as far as I'm concerned, whether he shows that remorse at that point, is not going to change it for most people, for a lot of people.
But it's a disturbing, aggravating factor.
You have it backwards. The man committed a crime, and the way the criminal justice system treated him was wrong. That is where this needed to be. I don't know if I agree that the NFL, under these circumstances, just strips him of his livelihood forever. Because everybody in all professions gets second chances. No, I don't think that an officer, a lawyer, a senator, I think that you would be able to return to your job. that shouldn't really be the focus. The NFL now is covering their, you know what, because they were found to have lied and so on and so forth. But the real issue here is how is the criminal justice system dealing with men who consistently
And also
do this?
culturally, how do we also look at this where, you know, when idiots make jokes about, hey, take the stairs instead, we got a big learning curve to go up as a country still. Gentlemen, thank you all very much. Thank you at home for tuning in. I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock here when the president speaks and immediately thereafter. And I'll also see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. as always for our film. Thank you.